What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So this one's going to be a long one because we're technically doing a reaction video on what the CEO of Crypto.com, Chris, has said in the last AMA. I wanted to talk about this because I was hearing a lot about it as I was on my live stream and the different things that they're doing and how this will help out Crypto.com as well as CRO's price. And it's the main reason why CRO is spiking right now. So, before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, if you want to check out the exchanges that I'm partnered with, feel free to do so with the links down below. I have a link for BTCC, which is an exchange you could trade up to 500x leverage. And I also have a link to Margex down there if you guys want to trade up to a 100x leverage. Both of them are great platforms. I use both of them, but feel free to check them out for yourselves. Or you can even sign up for Crypto.com, which I have a link for. And honestly, if you sign up for Crypto.com and stake with one of the cards using my link, you can end up getting $200 just for signing up and staking. So feel free to check that out. And let's go ahead and dive into this. I'm gonna put these headphones on because I don't want any noise to really get through. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Thank you so much to everybody around the world who submitted tons and tons of questions, both through the form that we submitted, but I also want to make sure you guys know, keep the questions coming, even in the absence of an AMA. We hear you through our Twitter DMs. We see your comments on Reddit. We see what you write on Telegram. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to go through the tons of questions that you guys submitted directly, but also things that we saw elsewhere on the web. So again, thank you so much for your questions. So much has gone on. We're just going to dive right into them.
Well, first of all, it's good that he's taking questions from many people. And yes, you are pulling select questions, but you have a lot of questions. And from what I heard, he answered a lot of them.
With no opening monologues or anything. So Chris, lots happened this week. Can you walk us through your thinking on releasing the 2025 roadmap on the day of the elections, these historic elections, this incredible day? You release
That's crazy.
New roadmap for 2025. What was your thinking there?
Well, first of all, thanks for joining this AMA, everyone. I missed all of you guys, and well, we thought about this day as the beginning of a new era for for the crypto industry globally, with the US retaking its leadership position, and we thought that what a better moment to launch a completely new roadmap that will position us at Crypto.com for market leadership as well. So a lot of things were kind of going out on the same day. We've got our 2025 roadmap out there, which includes expansion into stocks through our SEC regulated and FINRA registered broker dealer, as well as banking and even credit cards. So a full stack new tech finance app. We're building a product for ourselves. We're building a great product for you. You won't have to go anywhere else pretty soon.
Now that's big. I wanted to stop it there because that's big, right? He talked about stocks. He talks about credit cards. One, credit cards will be huge because it opens it up to either whether it's going to be a secured credit card, which still takes the money off of theirs, or if it's going to be backed by a bank and you actually get a line of credit, which would still be huge. And also, what would the rewards be on the credit cards versus the debit cards? And we would like to know all that information. But also, when it comes to stocks, that brings up the question, like, are they going to be publicly traded at that point, or are they going to transition into that and apply for that? And that's honestly a great question. If they are, then that's going to be big to be able to buy directly into crypto.com, just like you do Coinbase. And I have a decent amount of Coinbase in my possession. I would also like to have a decent amount of crypto.com or any other company that becomes public. Ripple, if they become public.
So it's a very exciting roadmap. And to kick it off, we also introduced the Level Up, which is a new system of very aggressive incentives. And if you look at it, these incentives cut across. So not only the things that are already alive, like cards with high cashback rates and whatnot, but same for stocks. You will be able to receive deposits on stocks that you transfer to our SEC regulated broker dealer. And even for banking yield, it's going to be a tremendous offering. So we're very excited about that. And on the very same day, the team over at Cronos Chain released their new roadmap, which I absolutely love, as it makes Cronos Chain the chain that will bring AI and crypto together with fantastic utility for AI autonomous agents on chain, and creating a completely new flywheel from the token standpoint. So absolutely incredible day all-out news. We've seen the response. I think the community loved it as much as the team that spent quite a lot of time putting it all together. So a brand new era. I was very optimistic about the future for the industry and for Crypto.com.
That's big.
Indeed. There was a bunch of questions that people just want a little bit, peel back a little bit more. Like, what changed that's allowing Crypto.com to offer TradeFi services?
Well, we started this process more than a year ago, and as you know, these are all regulated services. So we approached it with a global ambition. So we acquired a number of companies that have the necessary licenses globally, and these processes take quite a lot of time because it's not only about identifying the right partner, negotiating the deal, signing the deal, and then paying for it. You also need to wait for the change of control to happen, where the regulators look at your background and your business plan and decide whether they want to approve the deal or not. So we've announced the first one recently with the acquisition of our SEC regulated broker dealer, and there's more in the pipeline, much more. As these things get approved and go live, you will see more announcements coming out. But you have to remember that our ambition is to offer all these services in every market in which we are present. So across the board, from crypto to stocks and including derivatives on stocks, and banking services with cards, not only credit cards, but also debit cards. So
What's crazy is the fact that, we know where the SEC stands, right? We know that the SEC doesn't really stand well or in the right spot when it comes to cryptocurrency. Like it's not something that they want to be heavily regulated, but it's not something that they are actually actively looking into regulating in the right way. They really only care about just kind of Xing crypto, it seems like. So the fact that you're, have majority or a lot of these things that are regulated and dealing with a SEC regulated broker, whoever that is, it's pretty interesting. But, I want to see more data behind it, more information behind it.
We're very, very excited about this. It's been in the works for a long time, and it opens up an opportunity for us to bring much more people into the ecosystem. So you will see, our user numbers exploding as these services are being rolled out over the next 4 quarters. Some of them very, very soon. And you have to remember that I never believed in you build it and they come. So we back it with very aggressive incentives from day one across all these product categories. So we expect it to be very successful. As I said on Twitter, we're not here to just participate. We're here to win.
And I want to make sure that those of you who submitted other questions heard Chris's answers, because he answered multiple questions there. One of them, or a lot of questions that we got, one category, is a lot of people raising their hands. When is it in my country, in Switzerland, in Germany, elsewhere? There's a lot of questions on when it's going to be available globally, because it's launching in the US first. I don't know if you want to expand on that anymore. Or
Which again, before he gets into that, launching in the U.S. first versus everywhere else, that's not something that has happened previously, right? The exchange, I think, still isn't available to many Americans. If not, there's only like a few Americans that do have access to it, but it's still not widely available, right? So seeing it launch in the U.S. first is a huge deal, because obviously there's a lot of money being spent there. And also, when it comes to the UFC, like they're partnered with UFC, when it comes to the crypto.com arena and many, WNBA teams and things of that nature, it's pretty insane to see the US support for crypto.com, or at least the sponsorship support.
Well, guys, this is a very complex industry. It's complex in crypto. Once you add fiat to it, it gets more complex. Once you add traditional financial services, it gets even more complex. So as a company, we need to think about how do we structure our licensing process? How do we build this network of group entities that have all the necessary coverage in individual markets? Then we need to build the products. And as you know, the products is built in a fairly centralized manner. And there's a number of technical challenges that we need to overcome, and we still need to ship extremely quickly. So this is a very, very complex problem. And the regulations in Switzerland differ from Germany, differ from Singapore, differ from Korea, and differ from the US. So some products will be available in some places with some terms, other products with different terms. It's just a very complex jigsaw. That's why you don't see a single company out there doing it on a global scale. There's nobody. We are the only company that will pursue this as aggressively as we are known for. So very complex, but opportunity lies in the middle of difficulty. So we're very excited about it.
That doesn't really answer a lot of it. I understand there's a lot of difficulty because you're dealing with different, you know, regulations, different laws that they have in different countries. So I understand that 100%. But it seems like the U.S. was probably the most difficult to crack, but maybe there was some sort of loophole or back end that made it easier to crack in the U.S. than anywhere else. I don't know. I don't know any of that back end information.
On something that connects to another popular question when you mentioned the aggressive incentives, the ability to roll this out globally, which no one else is doing. A lot of questions were, wait, so are you now competing with Robinhood and Revolut? How do you see yourselves? How do you see Crypto.com
Of course.
against that category?
Well, we look at it and think from first principles, right? We look at the products. What does the product do? What kind of incentives do I get? Do I trust the brand? Is this regulated? Is there a business model that supports it all? And yes, we are going head to head with a number of financial services providers, and we're fine with it. It's we're used to competition. There were like, I don't know, 1,500 crypto exchanges when we started, so it's nothing new. And we believe that our product will be the strongest, and our community is definitely stronger and more engaged than any of the companies that you mentioned. So I'm really optimistic.
Honestly, they're taking levels up to this that you wouldn't see in things like Binance. Like you're not going to see that. Yes, Binance is an S tier exchange in my opinion, as well as crypto or Coinbase. But crypto.com is definitely firmly cementing its future and support and all of that into being a not only tier one exchange, but getting into that S tier exchange level. And I've said it in the past that if you had the exchange fully available or widely available in the US, I feel like they would already be there. You see a lot of money flowing through there, flowing through the Cronos chain, flowing through crypto.com, and there would be more flowing through it if you had availability to do it in that manner. So, yes, they're competing with people like, or businesses like, BNB or Binance, as well as competing with Robinhood and Webull and many others. And he's right. There's so many crypto exchanges. How do you set yourself apart from being that exchange, right? One, you're well known. Two, you have so many different users. Three, you're opening the door to many new users when it comes to now offering stocks and things like that. So it's direct competitive.
As you said, that famous quote, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Another pointy question, but an important one. What's the real priority?
Mission remains
Sorry,
unchanged.
I skipped it.
We want to
Give me a
accelerate.
second.
I'm on the crypto exchanges when we started, so it's nothing new. And we believe that our product will be the strongest. And
another pointy question,
Had to skip.
but an important one. What's the real priority going to be? Crypto or now these traditional financial products?
Ooh,
our mission remains unchanged. We want to accelerate the adoption of crypto globally, and I think it's a very important mission for humanity, especially in the context of what's going to happen in the next couple of years with AI. This is a movement that is at its core libertarian. It protects the rights of the individual, and we will do our part to push this forward as much as we possibly can. At the same time, we need to recognize the fact that a lot of the activity happening in crypto space is highly cyclical. So we've seen a tremendous level of adoption in 2017 and a drop off during the bear market. We've seen it pick up tremendously again in 2021 and a drop off in the market. We had somewhat of a recovery this year, and Bitcoin just hit the all-time high on the 6th of November. But you can assume that things are going to cool down as the cycle moves from bull to bear. I'm very bullish on 2025, but we're also thinking about 2026, 2027, 2028. What are we going to do at that time? And people, you can think about it.
You hear this? He said he's bullish about 2025. Are you just taking it from only me or taking it from him and taking it from everybody else? 2025 is definitely bullish. We're already seeing some major movement in obviously CRO and many others, but we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet.
As us using banking services, credit card services, and stock trading services as the Trojan horse to onboard all these guys into crypto. They're all going to be CRO holders by the virtue of the Level Up program. So, we look at it as an opportunity to accelerate the curve of crypto adoption globally and massively grow the business and the size of our community.
True.
I want to take it one step back to where we started. We just had historic. I mean, every election is a big deal. This one was considered by many one of the biggest. What impact do you think the elections will have on the crypto industry? And we got a bunch of questions from Americans, or people asking for America, but then many others saying, what do you think the elections in America will have globally, in Europe and Asia, elsewhere?
If you look at technology in the last 30 years, the US has been the leader in all major shifts. And over the last couple of years, unfortunately, for crypto specifically, it has lost some ground. Well, I'm very happy that this has changed 2 days ago, and America is positioned again for massive, massive growth and leadership position in crypto. The US is today our single largest market. We are fully committed to it, and we will do anything and everything we can to make it successful and to make the US regulatory environment as friendly and as progressive as possible.
Means Gary Gensler gone.
Um, Shifting a little bit. So a few weeks ago, there was news that we had started a lawsuit against the SEC. Do you see any, or a bunch of people were asking, do you see any issues with that and the fact that we've acquired an SEC licensed company, Watchdog Capital? SEC
Well, first of all, the acquisition of Watchdog, which is SEC regulated and FINRA registered as a broker dealer, is yet another testament to our commitment to regulatory compliance globally. It is my hope, and I think everybody in the industry agrees, that there's going to be an improvement in terms of regulatory clarity in the US, and there are going to be specific frameworks governing the crypto industry put in place by the Congress. So, and as far as our lawsuit against SEC is concerned, I hope everybody understands that we are not going to be commenting on this. This is, those are ongoing proceedings. We don't want to make any comments. I think we've stated our case very clearly. So if anybody wants to read up on it, they're welcome to it, and we'll just leave it as at this for the time being.
So yeah, I understand where they're coming from. I mean, my idea in the past was that all exchanges and everybody in crypto with money, with power, with say, needed to come together and go, look, we need regulatory clarity. It's not about you guys getting money every second. It's not about you guys, taking money from people or anything like that. It's about you guys understanding what is considered a security, what isn't, and what is the framework behind it. And I think with Ripple and their battle, it's been difficult, but it led to the fact that they're like, oh, well, the SEC just wants more money. That's not what it's about. It's not about getting more money. It's about understanding how you regulate it, even how you tax it, all of these different things, but coming to an understanding and not just penalizing, right? Seems like you're just penalizing for fun. It's like when cops pull you over because they were following you and they saw you do a bunch of different things. It's like, I could pull you over for anything. I've had, cop friends that are like, yeah, we can follow somebody for 2 minutes or even less and know that they've had how many infractions, traffic infractions and all those things. And that's crazy, but that's basically what they're looking for. So anyways, I know they're going to talk about other things like burns and all that stuff. If you guys want more of this reaction here, because there's like, a good 40 plus minutes left. If you guys want more of this, feel free to go over to the Patreon. I'll provide the Patreon link down below where you guys can see all of it. I don't know if I'll, put it there for everybody, public and paid and all of that. But anybody that's a member, whether you're a public member or you're a paid member, I think you'll be able to view it and see it and do everything there. So I'll provide all of it there because this is way too long for YouTube. But hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out my links for crypto.com, BCCC, and Margex down below. But this is where I'll cut it off for YouTube. But I appreciate you guys watching. But if you're Patreon, here we go.